In this video, we are going to talk about 5 specific mistakes in the domain of financial planning that we make, and so we work very hard with our money to earn it, but then we don't really know how to spend it. So one is health insurance, and I'm speaking from personal experience. You should not just have an insurance which is given to you by your employer. Always have your independent family floater, because you never know when this job is going to get terminated, whether at your end or that of your employer. So it's always good to have that security cover under you, and the amount of the cover that you take should be commensurate with your city of residence. So if you're staying in a Bombay, Delhi side of a place where typically cost of hospitalization is going to be high, take a commensurate cover. And also there is zone wise premium. Ensure that you take the entire India. You never know which city you'll have to go to get your near and dear ones medically treated. And then the fine print, like room rent, is it 1% of the policy amount? Is there no capping? Because if room rent is capped, everything else will be pro rata reduced. Then what is the waiting period for pre-existing diseases? And then pre and post hospitalization period. And then other exclusions like dental. Then you always have to disclose your medical history to your insurer. Never hide that back, because they will then later reject your claim on the count of fraudulent charges. And then when it comes to life insurance, please remember that life insurance is not an instrument for investment. Two distinct objectives: term insurance, and then rest of the money you put in mutual funds or ULIP. Our parents have always thought that giving money to an LIC and getting money back, even if it gives 6% IRR, is so nice, you're getting your money back. But then they've never calculated the IRR on these investments. And also ensure that if you have taken life insurance, put it in that e-insurance account, which is like a demat. Let your family members know that you've taken life cover. Because God forbid if anything happens and they don't know that there is this cover, then what's the point? And the quantum of the cover should be good enough to cover the kind of lifestyle that your people are living. So it should be like 5 times of your current salary, etc. When it comes to mutual fund, remember that just investing lump sum in January, February, March for APC in the ELSS is not good enough. You have to do it systematically over the next 12 months. So SIP is the route. In case SIP is kind of a challenge for you in terms of you might want my bank account does not have the necessary balance always, put the money in the liquid scheme and then put an STP, systematic transfer plan. Beware of dividend distribution schemes now, because that is a major tax leakage. The dividend distribution tax on the dividends that is paid is now paid from your account. So you are getting poorer. Then it's not always wise to just go for direct plan if you got no freaking idea of mutual funds. It's better to go through some paid agent who will give you the premium included plan, which is the regular plan, where his 1% of kind of a fee for equity is included. But then this guy inside out is like a doctor of mutual funds. So just investing basis some mutual fund rankings which you read in a magazine, remember that might have been a paid insertion, etc. So you never know those stars, what is the sanity of those stars. Kind of avoid thematic funds. I invested in infra funds, burnt my fingers. IT funds in the early 2000s, people have burnt their fingers. Kind of good to have a diversified fund. And then aspects like, if you really understand the risk, Sharpe ratio, Trenner ratio, your churn in the mutual fund, their expense load, and then aspects like the 3-factor model, which is called PHAMA, which is the alpha that you're generating over and above the benchmark, which is attributable to the fund manager. Because what is going to happen is that, let's say the fund manager changes. He quits because he's just an employer. He goes from HDFC to Axis. He carries his skill to Axis, and you continue to invest in that HDFC fund, assuming that the past returns are going to get replicated. But then the man behind that magic has already moved on. So that is something that you need to be wary of, right? And then when it comes to stock market, remember that if you're getting a tip of the stock market in your WhatsApp for free, nothing in the world comes for free. By the time if it has come on WhatsApp, it means the news has already been priced in the market. So a lot of us invest on the basis of Tom, Dick, Harry, whoever says ki haan, Rohit has told me, Shohit has told me, Anand has told me. But then when it crashes 50%, then what happens? A lot of us have burnt our fingers in small caps and micro caps and mid caps. They have not even recovered, although the Sensex has recovered, and in fact outperformed its previous levels, so can you actually go and hold the collar of that person or tell that WhatsApp group administrator that your tips are the ones which have caused this kind of a thing? They play on probability. Everyone will just highlight the tips which have clicked, but the ones which have not clicked, they are going to just disown them in some way. And then please read the balance sheet. Sometimes it's good to understand cash flow from operations and aspects like, is EBITDA getting translated into cash flow from operations, and what is the debt leverage on the balance sheet, what is the promoter's quality in terms of corporate governance, quality of accounting. Don't invest in stock market just on someone else's tips. I've lost a lot of money, and I will recommend that never that should be done. And then the last part about miscellaneous aspects related to financial planning, there are simple dimensions like PPF. They give you a very good in the debt funds category 8.65%. That amount should be into your account, your 1.5 lakhs within 5th of April, not just for you but all for your family members, so that you earn that interest for the entire year. Remember that if you make a PPF contribution after the 5th of the month, you will not get interest for the entire month because they still follow that archaic method of minimum balance between 5th and the end of the month. Similarly, if you are opening a Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, which I have done for my daughters, if you make a deposit after the 10th, you will not earn any interest for that month, because that again follows minimum between 10th and the end of the month. So this is one fine print. Now they are paying such good interest on PF, why not make a voluntary PF? That is up to 100% of basic you can do. You just check with your HR in your company. It's good to have that VPF done. Now when you make this NPS, 50,000 you have to do under section 80 CCD. Why do we all have to wait until January, February, March to make that amount? I have started in a standing instructions now in my SBI where I will invest 4,200 rupees every month on a given date of 1,500. On the 15th or 20th, that is going to get transferred to my NPS tier 1 account. Good, now I'll at least average within this 50,000, I'll average over 12 months. Okay, and then if your employer has not yet started, your company, if they contribute to NPS, 10% of your basic will become tax free if you also match it by 10% of the basic. So why not get that benefit? Yes, I know NPS scheme will have its own set of ifs and buts, it's not really proven. But then you are straight away saving 30% kind of a tax. So friends, these are the 5 aspects: health insurance, life insurance, mutual fund, stock market investment, and then the miscellaneous parts related to PPF, Sukanya scheme, and then voluntary PF, NPS, etc., which you need to be wary of. If you like this video, please share it with your near and dear ones. It really helps a lot of people. And then if you've not really subscribed to this channel so far, please do that. You get authentic content based on my own experiences, and press the bell button icon so that you actually get notified when I upload a new video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.